Malcolm, thank goodness you are unharmed. You have my eternal gratitude, Sir Arisen. Now I can breathe freely at last.
Sir Kendrick? You'll never believe what I've found. It's just up ahead. Books, sir. Books, books, and more books. It's like some sort of secret workshop.
Truly? Perhaps we ought to take a look.
We're to be guided to our destination. Let's try to follow along.
Heavens above!
Isn't it amazing? And I found it. Me.
'Tis quite a find indeed. Is this some manner of archive? Why, I've ne'er seen so many books. This collection must be worth a fortune. 'Tis a veritable treasure trove of wisdom. Might I ask that you not share the existence of this place with others, Sir Arisen? We cannot allow the knowledge accumulated here to be misused or mistreated. We ought to entrust its care to someone worthy, someone who can appreciate its true value. Pray tell me if you know of such an individual. As for you, Malcolm, I forbid you from telling anyone else about this place. 'Twill be our little secret. Understood?
Oh, but...
However, in exchange for your silence, you may come and go as you please. Let's investigate this place's secrets together, eh?
'Tis quite a collection of tomes. I'm sure I'd be seeing stars, were I the scholarly sort.
Yeah.
Moment of victory at the hand. Let us finish this. I must.
The number of those who seek out this tavern in the hope of an audience with the Arisen grows by the day. Should you continue to display such valor, the day will soon come when Disa can no longer deny your presence. And ere it slips my mind, pray, take this. 'Tis a symbol of my own gratitude.
Our task is complete. Hardly surprising, given that you and I were on the job, Master.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. For some time now, 'twas said that the false sovereign was recovering from his battle wounds. But as I hear it, he is now well enough to walk unaided. And so, in honor of his supposed valor, they have been holding masquerade in the palace of late. The false sovereign's identity is still beyond our ken. Even the matter of from where he hails remains a mystery. But mayhap approaching the false sovereign at one of these gatherings could afford you a glimpse into the man behind the mask. What say you, Your Majesty? Might I ask this task of you? If that is your judgment, Your Majesty, there is much we ought to tend to. If we are to strengthen Your Majesty, you will need to infiltrate the palace to gather evidence of Disa's misdeeds. I hesitate to ask something so dangerous of you. Yet I have attempted to do the same through my own channels afore now. Would that I could undertake the task myself. What say you, Your Majesty? Might I ask this task of you? I shall ensure that the door to the Queen Regent's office is open between midnight and dawn. Pray use that time to conduct your investigation.
I'd wager there's aught to be found here.
Let us ponder how best to proceed.
Who's there? Pray, keep your voice low. 'Twouldn't be good for either of us if someone was summoned to come check on me. Could it be that you have come to bring Mother's schemes to light? Aye, Disa is my mother. Pray forgive me for not telling you sooner. 'Twas never my intent to deceive you. I'd simply feared that if I spoke the truth, none would wish to involve themselves with me. But that is no longer a concern. 'Tis clear that we are allied in purpose. My word, you mean to say that you are the true Arisen? That the Sovereign currently residing in the palace is a pretender? Could Mother have had a hand in that as well?
Regent King Sven appears to be missing from his chambers. Have you seen him?
Me? No, sir.
Then start searching, you fool. Should aught befall the Regent Kin, 'tis us who'll answer to her grace.
Forgive me. My absence seems to have made this rather more difficult for us. You ought leave the palace at once. This room turned up little of interest, but I've a mind to look into this further. I shall send word to Captain Brandt if I discover aught you should know. I'll head out first and speak with the Sentinels. Use that opportunity to make good your escape.
Sven, where have you been?
Forgive me. I couldn't sleep. I thought a stroll might clear my head.
Prithee inform us when if aught happens to
I only pray my watch finishes without incident. So tight. I'd kip just about anywhere.
Lost track of time. This place is too comfortable.
I always draw the short straw. There's ought to be said that we give
When does my watch end? I've clean forgotten.
You wish me to return? At once, Master.
attend rowdy. Might you spare me?
Might head to market. I'm in need of a few things.
Welcome.
Let's take it easy today.
Well met, sir.
Greetings, Your Majesty. Have you a moment to...
Welcome.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen Your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. How fared your mission? Was there aught suspicious to be found in the Queen Regent's office? This scrap. 'Twas part of a letter, and from Batal no less. This alone can prove little, but 'tis clear that Disa's schemes run deep. To think, Disa's actions have weighed even on the mind of her own son. 'Tis a surprise, but a welcome one. Disa, if Regent King Sven is willing to aid us by drawing Disa's focus, we may be able to gain even more useful information. You have done well, Your Majesty. Though I am limited in the aid I am able to offer, I bid you, take this.
Seems we were right to suspect the Queen Regent. We ought to keep an eye on her in the days to come. Queen Regent Disa, appears to be working in concert with this Phaesus fellow, but what precisely is their aim?
I refer to Waldar, a magistrate. Many a time has Disa demanded Waldor amend the code of Vermont to her own benefit. And many a time has the magistrate refused her, for he is loyal to none but the spirit of the law. As a result, he now sits in a cell beneath the palace. Our laws dictate that your majesty is our rightful ruler. Thus, as the staunchest supporter of the law known to the palace, I'm quite confident that Waldor will be willing to vouch for your majesty. What say you? Might you be willing to aid me in arranging the magistrate's release? I've prepared a means for you to enter the palace dungeons. Pray, take this. This mission demands the utmost secrecy. Prithee be cautious, your majesty. Should you be discovered, I will be unable to lend aught in the way of aid. There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your majesty's claim as the true Arisen. While examining the palace ledger for evidence of the Queen Regent's misdeeds, I made a curious discovery. For some time now, it seems she has been diverting a veritable mountain of gold to the daily purchase of sweet crown flower. What's more, this inexpedient spending habit is recorded to have begun the very day on which Arthur, the would-be Arisen, appeared on the scene. This cannot be mere happenstance. I can only conclude that these sums are passing into the hands of Arthur himself. Yet 'tis strange, for sweet crown flowers only grow on the eastern edge of Vermont. I dare say 'twas not an item chosen idly. Mayhap this knowledge will guide us in our pursuit of the false sovereign. 'Tis a frail hope to be certain. Yet all the same, I would ask that your majesty venture to Vermont's eastern edge and probe into this young man's origins. I am glad to hear it, for I cannot shake the feeling that uncovering the identity of the false sovereign is the key to unraveling Disa's scheme and securing your enthronement.
You don't need a permit to get into Batal. Just hide in the back of an ox cart. Mind, you've got to avoid the guards line, but it's easy enough. I shouldn't...
Ah, they say the Arisen's breast bears a wound akin to the dragon's claw. By that mark, 'twould seem 'tis true. This reminds me of a happening 148 years ago. During the reign of Regent Alphonse, a man named Crusoe appeared and claimed to be Arisen. He went before the people, insisting that he, and not Regent Alphonse, was the true Arisen, the one fit to lead them as their ruler. And what befell him, you ask? Ha! Crusoe was discovered to be a liar, whereupon his head was liberated from his shoulders on the spot. Aye, I dare say your arrival portends another beheading, but whose will it be? Escape? But why? Here, I spend my days perusing the code and deciphering old texts. I can devote all my time to my own interests. And I need not turn my ear to Disa's absurd demands. 'Tis a paradise to me, this cell. That said, if you know of a place with a mountain of tomes I could delve into, I might rethink the matter. Tell me, does that ring any bells? Oh, to think such a place existed. How very curious. Guide me outside, then. If you can deliver me from this pit, I ought to be able to find the rest of the way on my own.
Good to see you, Master.
Aye, this should be far enough. If you truly are arisen, then I swear to someday repay this debt I owe. Words may be wind, but there's naught else I can offer you at present. Pray visit me if you've the time or inclination. Mayhap the knowledge I've gained reading tomes of Eld could be of some use to you.
From the pains he took to remain on scene, 'tis plain that Allard wished this delivery kept away from prying eyes. That alone is reason to suspect a connection to Deeza's schemes. The Regent Kin intends to call Allard to his chambers come nightfall. He bids you to use this opportunity to search the Minister's chambers and see if there's aught to be learned. What say you, Your Majesty? Are you willing to undertake this task? I shall ensure that the door to the Minister's chambers is open between midnight and dawn. Pray, use that time to infiltrate and uncover aught.
I vow to see this endeavor through to its end.
Business could be so pressing that I must be summoned at this late hour.
I would not presume to know, my lord. However, it must be a highly sensitive matter for the Regent Kin to request a private audience.
Or perhaps the boy has finally grown wise to the benefits my favor can bring. He might just be his mother's puppet, but at least he knows what's good for him.
My lord, if someone were to overhear...
Oh, unwring your hands, you fool! As if anyone in this palace would dare say a word against me. Now, if Wilhelmina calls, tell her to await me in my chambers. I will return presently.
surely none more important than this. I speak of the ascension of the Sovereign.
Indeed. But that, Your Grace, would be better discussed in the presence of your mother.
Around the palace. How did you get in here?
Oi! Who goes there? Who's there?
Tut, tut. Now, this just won't do. How's a lady supposed to work with all these interruptions?
Oh, it is you, Lady Wilhelmina.
Mm-hmm. Do excuse us. We thought to enjoy a little fresh air. Though we had hoped for slightly more privacy, if you catch my meaning.
Apologies, milady. But might I ask the name of your companion?
Are you sure it would be wise? Such knowledge has been known to cost a man his head.
Understood, milady. If anyone asks, I shall say I saw naught.
A narrow escape. You should count yourself lucky that he was so easily flustered. I don't appreciate having my motives questioned. I did as I saw fit. Need I say more? Still, you are welcome to come calling, should the fancy take you, and should you have the gold for it. Off you go now. If you wish to speak further, 'twill have to wait. This is neither the time nor the place for it.
But not at the expense of my duty.
Code and all that. Still, I suppose I could give you a bit of advice. If I have a hefty wager riding on you, cuz. Don't let me down, eh? All that obscure advice, only to depart with nary a word of explanation. Shall we try doing what she did to us, then?
Won't you stay a while?
You made it after all. Guess that means I win. Oi, you lot best pay up. Dear me. You didn't disappoint, did you? You've done well. Seems only fair I answer any questions weighing on you. Come on, ask away. What can I say? Not many people bother with this place. Luckily for me, you were different. Knew I was right to bet in favor of the Arisen. Anyway, most visitors get fooled into going up to the manor. We send them packing with a trifle, and if they don't question it, good riddance. Anyone that complacent has got no business being a thief. We only train the rare few who make it here. Some might go so far as to say that the entire village was built around this spot. That all you wanted to ask? Figures you'd want to know about him. We're supposed to be neutral. Ordinarily, I wouldn't say a word about one of our jobs. But I suppose I can tell you, the situation being what is. His real name is Dara. He was one of us, once. But he's been exiled. We had no choice, see? After he went off to play the false Arisen, we're men and women of shadow. Center stage isn't our place to stand. That's why he was cast out. He'll ne'er be part of our village again. That all you wanted to ask? For all this, Dara was in line to become the next thief maester. But he failed. Took a massive injury to the chest during the trial. So the title fell to me. That's when he went off, saying he used the scar on his chest to pose as the Arisen. And what a scheme that turned out to be, eh? Now he gets to sit pretty on the best seat in the kingdom. Still, you'd have a hard time proving that he's not who he says he is. He's a wily one, that Dara. Always was careful not to leave behind a shred of evidence. But we can't have him thinking that he gets to go off and enjoy a peaceful life in a lap of luxury after breaking our code. Methinks he needs something to remind him of the debt he owes us. Here, this should do the trick. Now, as to the Maester's teaching, not sure you'll be able to use it to its fullest potential, but I'll show it to you.
Vanguard is yours. Lead on.
Damn dragon. Hurry, everyone! Get yourselves to safety!
You go with them. I'll sell that thing myself.
yourself. 'Twas a lesson in determination. Somehow I knew you'd come. You have my gratitude as well, sir.
Ulrika, glad I am to see you unharmed. You must return to the village. Everyone is concerned for you.
Forgive me. I'd best go. But I shan't forget this. Thank you. Truly.
Over here, if you please.